What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. If you're new here, I'm Ron, and on this channel I help you learn more about investing and financial technology. In this video, I'm going to help you unbox and learn more about setting up your Ledger Nano S. As a byproduct of that, my hope is that you'll also take away some pointers for safely navigating the cryptocurrency space. Before we get into that, I'll give you a little bit more of my background. I have been a traditional investor since the early 2000s and became aware of cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin, around the 2010-2011 timeframe. Unfortunately, because of the type of job I was working during that time, I was very conservative in the way I thought about finance and wrote off Bitcoin as this internet geek money that would never go anywhere. Due to a series of circumstances, in the 2014 timeframe, I had the good fortune of becoming a bit more, let's say, liberal with my thinking as it related to investing and things of that nature. And after watching some documentaries over the years that followed, ended up buying my first complement of Bitcoin in early 2017 and have been an investor ever since, have learned a lot ever since, and again, hope to share with you some of those learnings so that you can avoid troubling situations as you make your way forward in the space. Cryptocurrency, as you are probably aware since you're watching this video, has become a highly sought after asset. The traditional institutions are even moving into the space. Due to this value, the bad guys are happy to take this off your hands. My goal is to help you avoid scenarios that give the bad guys the opportunity to take your cryptocurrency from you. So let's start out. Lesson number one of the best ways to protect your assets is to make sure that they are under the control of private keys stored on hardware wallets. In this video, as I've stated, I think I've stated already, we're going to learn how to unbox and set up the Ledger Nano S. Lesson number one, I happen to have a couple of boxes here, and as you look at these, I'll try to give you a good view of the angles here. There's one of these that you would immediately write off, and that's the one without the shrink wrap. If someone were to say, hey, I've got a Ledger Nano S that I'm not using, I'm happy to give it to you, they give you this box that is clearly been tampered with, thank them, but say no thanks. That is a very quick way, if you were to take that device and store your crypto on it, or put your crypto under the control of the private key for that device, you are effectively turning over access to your cryptocurrency. So let's write that one off immediately. That leaves us with one that is apparently in its original packaging, and we will take this opportunity to go through an unboxing and continue our learning for the Ledger Nano S. So why don't I go ahead and take the shrink wrap off here. We'll do that for you. All right, so we'll go ahead and open this guy up. All right, and that's what it looks like upon opening the top lid. So nicely packaged, beautiful device. These come in a number of colors. think this one is the slate, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll go ahead and remove the device itself. All right, nice and sleek, easily transportable. And removing the little foam cover here reveals some other material. I'm going to go ahead and switch to my other camera to give you a better view of what this stuff looks like. So now there's our Ledger Nano S. We'll go ahead and remove this guy, put that to the side. We've got a little pamphlet here. Go ahead and take this out and inspect. Actually, it's a little envelope of sorts. In this envelope should have a number of materials that some of which are of interest. So go ahead and take this out, get rid of the envelope itself. All right. As I've stated already in the video, they give you a nice little warning here. I think you can see that. Make sure that the packaging gives no indication of having been tampered with. If so, you don't want to use that device, and follow any instructions that they provide to help you get a different device. So we'll go ahead and put that away. We've got a getting started card, getting started with the Nano S. And then you have a series of recovery sheets. What are these? Here's another lesson. These are sheets that you will use to write down your 12 or 24 word recovery phrase. These words, when put together in the right combination, will recreate the private key by which your crypto is controlled. After you fill out this sheet, you've got your 12 or 24 words on this sheet. You want to protect it as you would protect any financial asset. As your crypto grows in value, you want to make sure that it is protected. After our 3 recovery sheets, we have some USB cables in the box. One, to be precise, USB-A to micro USB, it looks like. We have a lanyard and an attachment for the lanyard, allowing you to conveniently transport your ledger around. Now, with the unboxing complete and the walkthrough of the documentation contained within the box reviewed, this section is for my viewers using the Linux operating system. Now, granted, if you are using the Linux operating system, you've probably already discovered the information that I'm going to cover in this section, but for the sake of completeness, I'm going to cover it anyway. Before connecting your ledger to your workstation, there's a little bit of setup that you need to do in order to prepare the user device manager in Linux to recognize the Ledger Nano S. So what I'd like for you to do is to go over to your browser, I don't care which one you use, and do a quick Google search. You're going to search for Ledger Nano S and UDEV rules. And it should be the first hit that comes back. And you're going to scroll through here, look for Linux, and here are some things that you need to do. Hopefully, in your case, it is as simple as executing step number 1, and that'll put your machine into a position where the Nano S is recognized as soon as you plug it in. So I'm going to go ahead and Let me get a terminal going here. Oh, looks like I already have one. Perfect. So I'm just going to copy this line, go ahead and paste it over here. And I do have a new file there. And I think that should do it. I think I need to restart the device manager. All right. And so that should put us into a situation where the operating system will recognize the ledger once it is plugged in. So why don't we go ahead and give it a shot. I'm going to switch views here again. That USB cable that came with our ledger, I've connected that to an available port on my machine. So I'm going to take the ledger, going to plug it in, and my hand is in the way, but here's my ledger. I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. And you see my ledger powering up there. Welcome to Ledger. Go ahead and go next. It's giving us a little tutorial on the display here. Get started at ledger.com/start. Set up as new device. Restore from recovery phrase. Remember, press both buttons to validate. So we are going to be setting this up as a new device. Going to press both buttons here. Choose a pin. Press both buttons here again. Going to set my pin off camera for obvious reasons. I've entered my pin. It's now asking for confirmation code. And to move through the numbers, there are two buttons here on the top. To move down, I press this. To move up, I press this. So I'm going to confirm my PIN code, again off camera. Press both buttons. Okay, I've confirmed my PIN, and now I get to go through the process of copying down the words that'll make up my recovery phrase. And once I press the button here, I'll begin to navigate through the process of getting each of the words. So let me get a pen, which I hope I have handy. I don't have handy. I've gone through the process now. I've entered my recovery phrase, and now I'm asked to confirm that recovery phrase. All right, I've verified my 24-word phrase. The device reminds me that that's my only backup. Guard it as you would guard anything of extreme value. Very, very important. So we'll go ahead and move to the next step. Again, a reminder, keep those 24 words in a safe and secure place. Never share them with anyone. You see the theme here? Extreme protection, very important. These phrases provide access to your funds. And once you've gotten through all the warnings, you are asked to press both buttons to get started. or to continue, I should say. I'll go through a moment of processing. Hopefully you can see that with my terrible second camera here. And my device is now ready. Go ahead and hit next. And it's letting me know I need to press both buttons to go to the device's dashboard. All right, and that takes me to the dashboard. There are currently no apps installed. We'll go ahead and load the Ledger software to get some applications installed. Also meaning getting some coins, applications for coins we want to utilize on the device, so that when we plug into Shapeshift or whatever wallet we choose to use, we're able to transact on the appropriate blockchain. Okay, now you have all of the preliminaries completed. Now you need a way to interact with the ledger in order to get applications or coins installed on the device. So we're going to go over to our browser, and we want to navigate to ledger.com, and we want to download Ledger Live for the operating system that we're currently using. And as I am on Linux, let me locate the appropriate app. It's downloaded. It looks like an app image. All right, and for my Linux friends, let's see. We'll need to make this executable. We just change the mode to executable for the owner, group, and everyone. I did that off screen. So I have the app downloaded now, and I've changed the permissions on it here on Linux so that it is executable. I'm going to change scenes. Sorry for the inception moment there. I'm going to go ahead and run the app. It's currently in my downloads folder. It is an app image on Linux. That'll go ahead and start up, and we'll click Get Started. I have read and agree. Go ahead and enter the Ledger app. Got a Nano S. Since my device is already set up, I've gone through the process of creating my recovery phrase. I'm going to choose the option here that says Connect My Nano S. Go ahead and say Check My Nano. And I'm being prompted to allow the Ledger Manager on my device. And I can see on the device here that I need to enter my PIN. And a little prompt on the screen reads just as you see here, allow Ledger device. I'm going to hit both keys to do that. And we are all good. So this is an indication that the setting up of the UDEV rules has succeeded. The operating system sees the ledger, and the application through API calls is able to talk to the Ledger Nano S as well. So we'll go ahead and say continue. And now I can begin adding accounts or applications, as it were. So let's go ahead and do that. First, go ahead and add Bitcoin, digital gold. I am prompted on the device. Go ahead and install BTC. And the device is now processing. And you see on the screen here, it's installing. And I now see the BTC app on the Ledger Nano S. Let's also go ahead and do the firmware update before we get too far into the process. Suggest that you go ahead and read this. We know we do have our recovery phrase, so we're good there. Go ahead and continue. We'll let that update download. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Yeah, that's progressing nicely. Go ahead and verify the identifier on our device. Hit both keys to perform the update. Enter my PIN, and our firmware will progress. And everything that we've done here outside of setting up the UDEV rule would apply to any operating system to which you are connecting the device. Almost done with our firmware update. And we will now, I'll enter my PIN as I'm being prompted on the device. And I'll reinstall my apps. All right, Bitcoin installed. Go ahead and install Ethereum. A whole host of cryptos supported on the Ledger Nano S. This is good to see. Good to see how the market is expanding, becoming pervasive. This is really refreshing. All right, so we have Bitcoin and Ethereum installed on our ledger. We can talk to those respective blockchains. We're good to go. And so that's it. That is what it takes to set up a brand new Ledger Nano S, in my case on Fedora Linux. But that procedure is applicable to any operating system you might be using, with those couple of steps that are specific to Linux, setting up the UDEF rules for the user device manager, and marking the app image that we downloaded from Ledger as executable. Everything else is the same. I hope you found this tutorial useful. Hope you're able to put it to good use. And it is my wish that you continue your journey. You find more and more education about crypto and the new world of finance, and that tutorials like this will help you avoid any missteps on your journey to a better financial future. Take care, stay safe, and you'll see me in the next video.